What's up, everybody? Welcome to Snail Mail.
Snail Mail.
Mail of the snail.
Female snail. I mean,
female snails?
Snail, female.
Snail
Whatever.
trails and
snail
females.
trails.
Snail trails on females? Okay. Glad we got to that point. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. This is our favorite segment of the show. Your guys' least favorite segment because you go and call us at 916-345-4744. Thank you. And you leave us a voicemail. And then you sit in high anticipation for about a month to a month and a half before we get to it. So...
That's usually how it goes.
Yes. Yep. Any guesses, Jimmy, as to how many voicemails we have today?
Man, let's see. Let me scroll back here through time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We were at, where is it? Here. We started with 41 and we got through 6. So what did that take us to? 35. So we ended at 35 last time. My guess is we got about 10 in, so 45.
Close. 46 voicemails.
46.
4 text messages, so 50 in total.
Dang.
So let's dig in, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. First up, we're at a text message.
Okay.
So just FYI for everybody out there, we're at March 19th. So if you're curious where your text message is, you can go back and check the date. March 19th is where we're at on those. And this looks like Richard from Atlanta.
Oh.
He found it's a second gen? Yeah, second gen. I can't tell if it's a truck or a 4Runner. Peeking out of a garage. And he said, they're everywhere.
Oh, got it.
Like last week when he called in. He was talking about how he's just noticing Toyotas everywhere. So,
well, that's because they are a very popular vehicle, reliable, last a long time. So they're everywhere.
That's why the cartels use them.
Yep.
So thank you, Richard from Atlanta, for sending that in. Let's see. Next up is voicemail. Back over to voicemails here. We got Uncle Weirdo.
Okay. Uncle Weirdo. Cool. Good to hear from you again.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey guys, Uncle Weirdo here. It's let's see, March 19th, and I was just thinking about something this early morning while I'm on my way to work. And hold on, what the? Wow. Sorry, I'm driving down the 5, and wow, this lady's still going. You know what? I'm gonna change the topic. That is annoying as hell. I just watched a lady merging onto the I-5 and almost ran herself off the freeway because she apparently does not know that if you're merging onto the freeway, you in fact do not have the right of way. And this semi-truck here is just driving, wasn't able to get over, and she's still yelling at him, get him all the fingers. That's pretty comical. You know what? That is so irritating when people do that. So regarding that, new question for you guys. What is your guys' what is an irritating habit that people do on the road that just irritates the shit out of you? I know one of mine regarding is stuff like this is kind of annoying. Especially if you're the guy already on the freeway with the right-of-way and you cut off the fast lane just to let merging traffic over. I'm all for being a nice neighbor. If you're able to without cutting off traffic, I'm all for it. You know, be a good neighbor, all that good stuff. But don't cut off people, especially if you're in a semi-truck or anybody in the fast lane, just to let the jack off merging on the freeway get on. Yeah, no, that's annoying as shit. This lady right here is pretty funny though. She's still going. I just passed her. Yeah, she's still all pissed off. All right, that kind of shifted gears real quick. Yeah, let me know what's an irritating habit that people do on the road that just bugs the shit out of you. Later, guys.
I have 4.
Oh, I've
off
got,
the top of my head.
I'm sure. I was thinking to myself, I think I could talk for an entire episode, a normal length episode on shit people do on the road.
Yeah.
That could be a fun topic.
I think it could too.
Yeah. So fun fact or funny little tiny story before we start going into that.
Okay.
This scenario happened to me today.
Oh, today
on the drive, driving literally because I was telling you where I was on my trip today.
Yep.
My last stop getting the fasteners for the snail armor panels. I was at that place and I was driving here. I was in the merge section of like I-5 and Truxell and everything, heading up to the studio. But I wasn't in the freeway merge. There's some lanes that shrink down in that section. And I was in the straight lane and there was a guy in the merge lane and he just started moving in on me. And I honk at him and he just continues to merge in on me, and there was room to my left. I wasn't I wasn't looking at it like at the moment of like, can I move over for this guy ahead of me? I was just sort of like, I got to go straight, and it like I pulled over and drove past him and he just sort of stared straight forward and I was just like, you're an idiot. Like you're merging. You don't have the right of way. Yeah. You don't like the person that's going straight has the right of way. The person that's on the freeway has the right of way. You're on an on-ramp. You're trying to merge to the freeway. You don't have the right of way. Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny to hear that. And that literally happened to me just a little bit ago, but, I'm going to go with sort of a not vague thing that bothers me, but it's sort of I don't know if it's pointed either, but I'm just going to say blinkers. Okay. Yeah. I really wish people use their blinkers more because I hate, like there's many times that I would take advantage of a situation if I know people are turning. Like if I'm exiting a freeway and I live in a rural area. So when I exit the freeway, I come to a stop sign and then there's cross traffic, but people don't use their blinkers to tell me if they're going to turn
left or right.
Left
it's a
or
T
right.
intersection.
It's a T intersection.
Yep.
And so the traffic that's crossing in front of me could be turning in front of me or turning before me. And I could leave and get out of their way or, I don't have to sit there because you took your time to slow down and turn, but I didn't know you were turning and I could have gone anyway. So I think blinkers it's not like a lot of people say blinkers are like a sign of weakness in a way. Like I'm warning people that I'm coming over and they're going to speed up and get in the way and all this stuff. I think it's a true courtesy. Like you're telling people what's going on. You're thinking ahead. You're actually paying attention to what's going on. And if there are other smart drivers out there, they'll be aware of this situation and they can either get out of your way or they can move on with their day because now you're signaling that you're going to turn. Yeah. Well, in my opinion, like blinkers, if you think about it, they serve no purpose for the person driving the car. No. Zero purpose whatsoever. They are solely there as a consideration to those around you. That's true. Yeah. That's their only purpose in life is to be considerate of other people around you. Right. Sure. Yeah. And so like, in my opinion, whenever I see somebody change lanes, make a turn, anything without a blinker, I automatically assume that they're an asshole in their everyday life. They're a self-absorbed asshole. Yeah. Like that's every single time. And like, granted, I will and because I'm like that, I try and make sure I use blinkers all the time, which is why I'm so fucking frustrated and annoyed that I don't have blinkers in the Mule right now. Okay. Yeah. So I automatically, like every time I go to take a turn in the Mule or change lanes or something, I'm immediately in my head, I'm saying sorry to everybody around me. I'm like, I'm not an asshole. I promise. Yeah. I know I'm driving a vehicle that makes me look like an asshole, but, it's just one of those things. Right. But on the flip side of that, also, I feel like because it is a courtesy and you are perfectly telegraphing what you're planning to do here, that people need to take that seriously. Sure. And make space for you, leave space, whatever. Don't try and just keep coming up on the person that has their blinker on. Right. Because they are coming over. Right. They're telling you they're coming over. Therefore, now you know what they're going to do. Why would you just continue going straight and cut them off and essentially cut off their turn or their lane change, whatever else? Because like when I'm in the dually, if I put my blinker on, I'm moving. I don't give a fuck who's there. Right. I'm way bigger. I'm way heavier than you are. You will always lose that battle. Right. So
just don't even, if somebody has their blinker on, give them the space, let them do it. It's not going to take any effort out of your day.
I did that today. Traffic was horrendous heading down this direction.
Californians don't know how to drive in the rain.
And I left space. There was space in front of me, and there was a small amount of space behind me, which I don't have any control over. But there was a lady in an Audi SUV style thing trying to merge behind me. She had like her blinker on, and she was like trying to get over for the split.
Yeah.
And she just was, and she was slowing down for it, you know, and I'm like, there is so much room in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, and then I think she realized it. And then I just like let off the accelerator, you know, and she had her blinker on and everything. Like I could tell, you know, and I was like, and it's funny because now that I brought this up and everything, and I've always thought about it, but I always try to appease the person that has a blinker on now.
100%.
Because I'm like, thank you for using your blinker.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
Thank you for letting me know.
Let me actually make room for you because you actually have your blinker on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyways, I've got a handful more for sure.
Oh yeah.
What's one of yours?
My biggest pet peeve.
Yeah.
The biggest one that it infuriates me and makes me get like slight road rage.
Okay.
Like there's nothing else really in driving on the road that'll get me just pissed.
Sure.
This is the one thing.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm excited to learn this because it'll happen.
During rush hour, during high traffic times, you come to an intersection and you can't cross the intersection, right? Because the traffic is backed up and you have a green light. You can't cross it. The fucking assholes in the other direction that can turn right and end up in your lane going the same direction you are after that intersection, they take the right on the red light while you're on the other side with the green light, and they just took the space that you're supposed to have because you have the green light, right?
Yes.
I hate that.
That drives me nuts.
If traffic is backed up and you have a red light on a right-hand turn, you do not get to go take that next space on that right-hand turn.
It's not your turn.
It's not your turn. Traffic is at a standstill. It's a different law now where the people with the green light have the right of way. That's the law, right? Mm-hmm. And the fact that you are taking away their right of way with your red light is not okay.
Right.
That's the one thing that absolutely infuriates me.
I hate that. It's like I'm stopped here because if it turns red, then I'm going to be impeding traffic.
And then I'll be taking away your right of way.
Yeah.
If I go in the intersection and stop and you can't turn now 100%. On the green light.
That's right. I meant by impeded traffic in a way. Yeah. And it kind of goes on the flip side of the person that is doing drives into the intersection on a left. And then it turns red and they're in the middle of the intersection.
Yep.
Same concept and a little twisted, but same sort of thing. It's like you're in such a rush to get to wherever you're going that now you've and sometimes people just aren't aware, and that's part of this problem, right?
Yep.
Is they're not paying attention. They're just going, or they feel that it's going to work out for them, or they just feel that it's, that their world goes around them.
Yep.
That they just put themselves in the middle of the intersection and then the lights change. And now the people that have the right of way don't have the right of way because they have to wait.
You're blocking the intersection.
You're blocking the intersection and to wait for you to clear the intersection for then they can move forward.
Yeah. So there's a few other things. I think we should do a whole episode on this.
I'm down.
I'm going to add it to the episode list.
Okay. Sounds fun. I am totally down to do that. I think that'd be fun. I feel like
this is also another topic that we'll get a lot of voicemails on.
So. Thanks, Uncle Weirdo, for starting this, which is kind of funny because some of our topics that have gotten a lot of interest on the SnailMail episodes have now carried over to the Discord, and the Discord is now becoming some interesting discussions, and it's a lot faster, which is pretty fun. So if you want to join the Discord, there'll be a link down in the show notes. You can get pretty quick access to us, but there's also a pretty big group. I think we're over 70 now. I think
it's over 70.
We had a big jump, and it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but we've got a lot of people over on Discord doing this. We're able to do this, but pretty 92. Oh wow. But much quicker, which is a lot of fun.
Yep.
So so if you're interested in joining the Discord, go on over there and we can chat more for sure.
All right, next up, Richard from Atlanta.
Okay. He texted and then called?
Yep.
Okay.
This is the next day from when he
got it.
Texted. Here we go. No? Doesn't want to go? There.
Tyler, Jeep and Jimmy, it's Richard from Atlanta.
Jeep and Jimmy.
I like saying that. Old JJ. Leaving a voicemail for old Tyler and JJ. Anyhow, counseling session. Calling y'all.
You need to buy the
How
Toyota.
do you guys, from a vehicle perspective, Tyler, with Kermit and now with the new vehicle, how do you guys, I know you still have both. I'm looking for some constructive criticism or advice or just a general topic. And I guess anybody could call in and talk about this. But I've got two vehicles that I need to get rid of. Both of them are drivable. One of them gets used a lot. One of them, not really so much. I'm the second owner of it. I really ought to sell it. It's a 94 F-150 Lightning. Like I said, I'm the second owner of it and, had it since, 97 or something like that, but I just don't drive it and it's been sitting outside. This has been a great truck. But I need to sell it. The other vehicle, you guys are going to joke at this, but is a Jeep. It's my wife's first Jeep. And we use it for the soccer field and, running around. I haven't wheeled it in a long time, stuff, this and that. And, I've got some suspension parts and all on it and stuff I need to take off and then kind of, get it back down or I can put it on Marketplace or something. But, what kind of thought process do you guys use when it comes to talking yourself into getting motivated to sell something? I'm sitting on this stuff and it's not like hurting me. I mean, other than like insurance sucks, just paying that. But, both vehicles are just kind of, I'll get in my truck every now and then and run it around for a little bit, but I don't drive it every day. I don't keep it in the garage anymore. It's just kind of some money potentially sitting there if I were to sell it. And then for her Jeep, again, we're trying to get our boys something else to drive. It's just too expensive of a vehicle for it to be their first vehicle. So I just haven't found the way to get motivated to rip all the suspension off of it and kind of throw it back to stock so we can put it on Marketplace and she can get what she can get for it. So, what kind of thought process do you guys have for that? Tyler, you had mentioned about getting rid of Kermit and then maybe you'll keep it. So with the last 20 seconds or 15 seconds of this voicemail, I'm going to say, if you still have that piece, unit, Toyota, and I make it up to Sacramento, I call dibs as the first person that rents that motherfucker and wheels it. Y'all keep crawling.
That's a great question. I literally just had this conversation with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Like 15 minutes before we started recording.
All right, well, then I'll go first.
Okay.
I have a really hard time letting any of my vehicles go.
Yeah.
I can't. It's a difficult thing for me. I know that I'm going to have to sell some of them at some point, but I don't. It's tough, and I don't know how to do it. I think once you start giving your vehicles names and things, it's like it almost becomes like part of the family in a way. So it becomes tough. I have sold vehicles in the past, but I think it just really comes down to you just need to find the priority of what vehicles you need, why do you need them, how often are you going to be using them? To me, it sounds like, and I'm not saying this because it's the Jeep, but it sounds like your Jeep is the first one you need to sell. And I'm saying that because you already have another Jeep. So, and you're wheeling that more and you're using it more often, where a truck is a truck and you can utilize the bed of a truck and it can take things places and you can still do some runs around. And I don't know if the Lightnings, I believe, are only a 2-seater, maybe 3-seater, with a bench. And so like, maybe you can't take the kids to the soccer field or whatever, but if you need to go get some wood or you need to go get, throw some bikes in the back or whatever it is, you still can use the truck. So just the scenario you threw out there, I don't know what other vehicles you have or what, because I know you have I think you have a Toyota truck still that you were fixing up. Was your granddad's or something like that? So you just need to figure out what truck do you use more, which ones are, can you utilize, which features can you do? And then that's the one that you don't need is the one that you're going to have to get rid of. And then you just work up from there. On the flip side, I don't understand why you would take off the suspension parts and bring it back to stock.
That was my question.
Why don't you just sell it as is and wash your hands of it? Unless you think you can sell it as stock and then sell the parts and you can make a few $100 more. If that's how you're going to do it, then power to you. But I think I would just not worry about it and charge a few $100 more for the vehicle because it has those parts on it, and maybe sell the stock parts with it or they come with it. Mm-hmm. I know that I sold a mini truck front axle and a 80 series rear axle, which is narrower than a lot of people want. And I said it was something like $600 for the front axle and the rear axle, or $700 with only the front axle.
Yeah.
So more or less, I'm like, you are taking the rear axle with you. I don't want it.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe you could pull something like that where it's, you want me to bring it back to stock, then I'm going to charge you some pricing.
More.
I'm going to charge you more because I'm going to have to put my own time and labor into it.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a thing that a lot of people don't understand and realize when either flipping cars or trying to part out pieces of cars, is the amount of time it takes to do that and how long you end up sitting on all those parts before you get rid of them. Right.
Sure. It's less space though than a vehicle.
It's less space than a vehicle. But I don't know. In my opinion, it doesn't sound like you need the money. Like if you needed the money, then yeah, you got to sell assets. If you need quick cash to pay bills, cover stuff, whatever an emergency comes up, you got to sell assets in order to do that and make the money work out. If you're not really needing money and you're just like, I just have this asset here that sits around, doesn't really ever get used and utilized, and I'm just paying registration and insurance on it every year. Then if that's something you don't really need and you haven't really had a use for in the past year, then yeah, get rid of it, sell it. Just realize though, that right now is a very bad time to sell vehicles.
Probably. Yeah.
The whole vehicle used marketplace is way, way down right now. Jason OCD just got, High Boy. I don't know what those are.
Really?
He got a High Boy, clean inside and out.
4-door?
70,000 miles, original miles on it.
Holy cow.
For $300.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. So 2-door probably.
Bro, I would guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know what kind of vehicle that is.
It's a Ford, old Ford.
Okay. So he got that. I mean, there's, you talked to Ryan, MF or Ryan, and he's always, flipping second gen 4Runners.
Yeah.
He's picking up 4Runners right now for under $500.
Damn.
To part out, flip, do whatever. So it's just, I mean, I've had 0 bites on Kermit. Brennan listed the white taco.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's got it listed for 55,000.
Yep.
And as far as I know, he hasn't had any bites on it yet.
Wow.
So it's just, I think that, automotive interest rates right now on the automotive loans, you can't find an interest rate below 11%.
Damn. Yeah.
Which is brutal on a vehicle.
Yeah.
So
that might just be a California thing though.
Maybe.
I mean, it might be high in general, but 11% here might be 8% in Atlanta.
Prime rate right now is 7%.
Yeah.
So anybody who's going to be loaning money as a banking institution is going to be adding 2 to 3% on top of that.
Sure.
For their profit margin. So, and I think that with the state of the world right now, people are very uncertain about the future.
Sure.
And a lot of people are just trying to do exactly that. They're looking, like I said, I just had this conversation with somebody.
Right.
They're looking at what assets they have that they're not really utilizing anymore. And they're like, that's just money I could put away in the bank.
Sure.
And earn interest on.
Yeah.
Because interest rates are high right now. So, yeah, if you can, just realize you're not going to get as much out of the vehicles as you're probably thinking you're going to get. But if you're not utilizing it and you have no use for it anymore, hey, take the cash and put it into an investment of some kind, man. ROI is your friend, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
agreed. Another not money making idea necessarily, but not money losing in an essence, is just to put the vehicle on non-op and put it in the corner of the yard or something, put a tarp over it or get a good cover and, make sure that it's winterized, let's say, and just let it sit there. That way you're not spending any money on it. You don't have to pay reg, you don't have to pay insurance, but you're not losing any money, throughout that time. And you can just hold on to it for a little while until things turn around, or you go, you know what, I really need to sell this. And then it's just ready to sell in an essence, because it's just on non-op. So you don't have to worry about it too much.
Yep.
So, it's just another kind of delayed tactic. If you're not using the vehicle, just, put it on non-op and just put it away.
Yep.
And then you don't have to worry about it.
Yep. I like that option. Yeah. Cause it's a bad time to sell vehicles right now. So if you can hold on to it and just decrease your expenses as much as possible, that's in my opinion, the move at the moment. So non-op is a great option for
But
that.
we're also looking at who knows how long till something bounces back. So,
True.
It could be a few years, or it could be decade, you just never know. So it's just a matter of like, are you just cleaning something out to just clean it out, or do you need some cash?
Yep. Cool. Next up, we got Butt Dial Brian.
Oh, Butt Dial Brian. Sweet.
That's one of the best names we have for listeners. Here we go.
What's up, guys? It's Butt Dial Brian, calling about Jimmy's episode, Tool Organization 682. I'll try to get this in under 3 minutes here. One, I got a toolbox in the back of my Jeep, like a big rolling one that I put soft bags in. That's a great way to stay organized and move stuff in and out, like my power tools that I don't leave in there all the time. One thing you didn't touch on is having a waterproof bag for your fluids. That's super helpful because you can store your fluids in there in case they explode. It doesn't get everywhere. And then you can also use it as a drain pan if you need to drain out fluids or something like that. You have a bag to kind of like store that fluid in there without it going everywhere or all on the trail. And then lastly, if you're organizing your tools, organize tools that like you keep but you don't use often, right? Like I have like a ready welder, and that kind of gets stuffed in the bottom of my tool, like way in the back. If I do need it, I'll have to pull everything else out, but it's not like recovery shackles or something like that where I'm using it on like a daily basis. So, just a couple things to touch on. Keep wheeling, guys. Later.
I like that a lot. I never thought about using a waterproof bag for a tool bag.
Me too.
That can double as a container to catch oil in.
Yeah. I just put that Cydio crate in the back of Bobcat, right? And it's waterproof and I have all the fluids in it, but then it made me think about like, oh, that's a really clever idea. Like worst case scenario, I can pull that crate out and I can put it underneath the vehicle and catch oil or fluids or whatever is leaking out. Or if I have to drain something and, clean it out. And then I was like, well, where am I going to put my fluids then? Are they just going to be rolling around in the truck bed? So it made me think like maybe I should just put it like, I don't necessarily need a waterproof bag. I just need a bag inside of the crate so that if I need to use the crate as that, as the container, then I can, but then my fluids would just be in the bag. Yeah. So, no, that's a really cool idea. I also, do like the point that he talked about there at the very end. I didn't talk about, organizing your tools in like the necessity way, right? So the tools that you don't need very often, like a ready welder, that's one of the deepest stored ones away. Yeah. And your recovery gear should be one of the first things that you should be able to grab. So that's a great point as well. Yeah.
I like it. Tool storage 101.
Yeah.
The topic came up on the Discord about a little bit about tool storage.
Yeah.
And somebody was asking for pictures of how people store tools in their tool drawers.
Yeah.
And there's some really cool 3D print organizational stuff. After I kind of said that on the Discord, I went and actually like looked through.
Okay.
There's some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to have to.
I might sit down and like restructure my tool drawers in the near future.
In like your garage. Yeah. I've seen some really neat things lately of people, how they're like, they design these little like grids, almost Legos.
Yeah. It's called an infinity grid.
Okay. Yeah. And
infinity it's a grid. And then there's all these different inserts for them for all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah. And they're just either a 1x1 or a 2x1 or, all these different ratios of more or less Legos. And it's like, you can build this really big opening or these shallow ones or these long ones. And you can just sort of create your own setup. Yep. Yeah. I liked that one. I thought that would be really cool for a drawer setup, a tool drawer setup. There's some really pretty neat things. I have a really cool workbench, tool storage thing from Gear Wrench that has, it's a big drawer. It's probably, I don't know, it's longer than 2 feet, but I don't think it's 3 feet long. And then it's quite deep. Let's say it's 2 feet deep, and it's got 2 dividers in it. And then it has pockets that you can dividers within that. So then you can
move the dividers around.
The 2 dividers that are depth wise are stationary. So things can only be, it's divided into thirds more or less. And those are fixed, but then the ones that go between them are all movable, and you can arrange it however you want. And I think I had 6 dividers or something like that. And so I just organized them evenly. Yeah. And that's how they've sat sense. And I've been able to be like, cool. So now I turned that 3 pockets into 9 pockets.
Yeah.
And that's how I have that top drawer, that tool storage arranged. And it works out good because I just was like, here's bits, here's like fasteners that are in a bag. Here's just random stuff that's furthest back, you know, that I don't necessarily need to access all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that worked out well. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of really cool stuff with 3D printed.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. All right. I might need to get into that.
Nice.
That or I'll just start sending you pictures and you need to start printing me out some stuff.
Essentially, if you find a CAD file, you send it over and I'll print it up. I don't care.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Jeff Morgan from Oregon.
All right.
Here we go.
Hey, this is Jeff from Oregon. So ARBs are my go-to. You can get parts. They'll give you any little part you need. I carry extra O-rings that go into the differential. I also, anytime I pull the diff out, I don't give a shit if it's 6 months later. I change all the O-rings in it. I'm there. I do it. I haven't ever had problems with anything leaking. I think that's how I manage it. Another thing I carry is I run 3AN stainless lines to all my ARBs, and they make a kit now that you can retrofit all that to 3AN. So I spent $150 a locker extra to make sure I don't have plastic airlines. The other thing I do is I carry a 3AN T. The reason I carry that is if one of the solenoids takes a crap up by the compressor, I can tee off both lockers to one solenoid. So it's a small little part I carry with me, and then that way I can engage both lockers with one switch. As far as the e-locker stuff is concerned, what I was meaning is that when you say you're airing down your vehicle, your Toyota 4Runner, and you're really, really scared because you're in a Toyota, and you turn on your e-locker and you stand around with your buddies bullshitting for 15 minutes before you drive the vehicle, that e-locker actually isn't pulled in, or the possibility exists that it's not pulled in. So therefore the current's higher. Once you drive and it's locked in, the current should drop, and then you'll be fine.
Gotcha.
It's just I've seen a lot of people like get out of the 4Runner and like they're airing down their tires, turn the lockers on, and then you have problems. I've seen that with mechanical stuff at work. And then multimeter. You should have an ohm value. If you unplug your e-locker, it's a coil of wire from one side to the other. If you put your multimeter, check for resistance. It should have 2, 3 ohms, 1 ohm of resistance in there. If you get an open or infinite signal on your digital multimeter, that means that the wire is burned up on the coil on the locker. So it's a good way to troubleshoot that you've got continuity going around that e-locker. And I know this is a bit over the people that drive Land Rovers heads, so I may have to draw a picture and send it in by text. They still suck.
Make it by crayons so that they can understand the picture better, Jeff.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Perfect. Did he send a text message with a photo?
I don't think so. Negative.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Bummer. I was hoping we'd have one.
Yeah.
But that makes a lot more sense. Because in order to engage an e-locker, you need to have rotation of the tires, which we talked about, right? And rotation and power from the pinion, which we realized doing our little testing. If you engage the locker while you're sitting still, like just kind of like getting ready for a trail, and you're turning your locker on, then going doing other stuff, that locking mechanism is going to keep sending power through because it's thinking that it needs to. It's not engaged. Actuate because it's not engaged, right? So that makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah. Sweet. Next is it's Jeff again. Jeff Morgan from Oregon.
Okay.
But the voice to text said it's Chef Morgan.
Chef Morgan from Oregon.
So we're going to start calling him Chef Morgan now. Here we go.
Hey, Chef from Oregon. Let's go through troubleshooting on your e-locker. I was thinking about it some more. So you'd unplug it at the diff. You'd have your multimeter. And first thing I'd check is with the switch on, do I have 12 volts at the plug from the chassis? If I do, then I'd move on. I check the other prong. Do I have a ground? I check for my multimeter with continuity between that pin and the chassis somewhere. And it should read pretty low, a couple ohms at most. that would tell you if either of those wires are broke, or your switch is bad, or your fuse is popped up on the chassis. Then moving down to the differential, you have 2 prongs. I'd already talked about checking for continuity between those 2 plugs because, again, it's essentially a light bulb. It's a resistor. If it's broken, you'll see an open. The other thing you should check to see if it's grounded. And you could check either of those plugs because it's the same chunk of wire essentially. And if either of those is grounded to the housing, then that e-locker won't work. It'll just pop fuses because it's a short. Or if it's in the middle of the coil of wire, there's some resistance, but probably not enough to not blow a fuse. But then the e-locker won't work because there's not enough current to pull the electromagnet. So you can also check the connections inside the differential if you wanted to pull the cover or pull the third, but I wouldn't do that. So that's just kind of your rundown with a multimeter, how to troubleshoot an e-locker. This also will work instead of the e-locker, the solenoid for your ARB up by your tank or up by your compressor. That little solenoid is the same type of electromagnet that is in an e-locker. So the same troubleshooting would work. Do I have 12 volts? Do I have ground? Then on the solenoid side, is there continuity and is it grounded to itself, to the chassis? So hope that helps. I know Don, some of those guys that run Land Rovers are going to struggle with that. Maybe they can run this by their boyfriend, see if he can explain it to them. Anyways, Land Rovers suck.
I want to go wheeling with Jeff sometime.
Yeah.
Chef Morgan.
Chef Morgan.
Sorry, Chef.
Hey, are we going to PNW Expo this year? Maybe we can entice him to come down and or hang out, and we can
feel like
do a
he's not
trip.
the kind of guy that would want to hang out around a bunch of overlanders.
No, but we're going to be headed up that way,
Okay,
possibly, and then we can drive out of there and possibly go hang out with him.
He doesn't want to hang out with overlanders.
You calling us overlanders? Is that what you're doing?
No, I would never do that.
I mean, I might have my trailer.
That's funny. No, that's great. Great stuff. I never thought of thinking of the coil in an e-locker as the same type of coil mechanism in a light bulb, but it's right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
True,
Actually, it was a great metaphor for me. So that worked out. Yeah. Because electricity is magic. So that was actually a magic thing that I could see.
Yeah. Like, and visualize in your head all of a sudden.
Yeah. I had this light bulb go off in my head about oh, I get it.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you, Chef Morgan, for your magical way with words and metaphors. So next up, Zach from Oklahoma.
Sweet.
Oakley homie. We got 3 minutes full.
Okay.
Here we go.
Ready.
What's up, Jimmy and Tyler? Zach from Oklahoma. I want to echo what Nick from Montana said
that's bad.
About mental health.
Oh, okay.
There's a quote by Andy Mineo, who's a rapper. If anybody knows or listens to him, he's a good artist. He says vulnerability doesn't say that I'm weak. It says me too. I feel that, and I understand the struggle, or that you can share a similar experience with somebody else. I too have struggled with my own mental health. 2016, I was hospitalized with suicidal ideation. And the experiences when I was hospitalized changed my life for the better, obviously. But I'm just glad that I have chosen to live and didn't take my life or anything like that. But it's good to know that other people out there, a good reminder that other people out there struggle as well. And my experience with my mental health has caused me to take a path in my career that also helps other people in their mental health or within their situations. Because I work at a day shelter here in Oklahoma City, helping individuals who are unhoused. I do want to say I appreciate Wreck-It Rob's call in using person first language, because that's the stuff that I'm using for my day-to-day work stuff. But yeah, so I have experienced clients who have died. We don't know the cause of death because that's something that we don't usually learn. Because I've been there for like 3 years and stuff. So, and also recently there was a staff member that lost their life to an overdose. So, which tomorrow I'm going to their funeral. So, I don't know. Loss sucks. And I want to use my experiences to be able to encourage others to keep going. That's why I've chosen the career path that I've chosen. And yeah, so keep on keeping on is what I've got to say. And yeah, I was going to say other stuff, but I kind of forgot. But I'm going to go get some B-dubs and eat some food. Y'all keep crawling. Bye.
Wow, that was perfectly on.
Was it?
3 minutes.
That's awesome. What did he say he was going to get at the end there?
V-dubs?
Yeah.
B-dubs?
V-dubs?
I'm guessing it's a food chain in Oklahoma City.
Okay. I don't never heard of it.
Yeah, man, mental health is super important, man. It's so important to have, in my opinion, balance in life. And it's way too easy, I think, as guys. Especially, it seems like guys in the automotive world, and guys in the trades, I should say, we put our heads to the grindstone and we just keep going and going and going until we completely burn out.
Sure.
And I think that it's important to be very aware and cognizant of your mental health, and take those mental health days. If you burn out, you're becoming now the victim, right? You can't help people. You can't get your job done. You can't help your family if you can't help yourself. So, you always got to take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, before we can, do the other things that we typically do as guys, in my opinion. So
I agree. I mean, I think that, I would go as far as say everybody has had some sort of level of mental health. There's going to be somebody out there who's like, I've never had an issue. I'm like, well, if you've ever had self-doubt, that's a level of mental health. Right. Yep. And so, I think that it's just something that, especially guys just never really talk about. And and that's also a problem, and I think that there's a level, there's many things to do to help you, get out of a slump. To some extent, just having friends, reaching out to your friends, or talking to family or connecting with people, and maybe not worst case, maybe I shouldn't use that term, but, last resort could be just like an emergency hotline of some level. Right. And you just need to I feel like talking is such a good way to just relieve stress and, get things off of your chest or out of your head. And you just need to do that. And I feel like so many, like Tyler was sort of saying, so many of us just keep our head down and don't worry about it. And we stay kind of all inside of our own head and we never release it or talk about it or get it out. And that's really the thing that needs to happen. To flip it all over is you talk about ladies that have I don't know how many groups and gossip things and ways that they talk to each other. And, and in a way, I feel like they have less mental health because of that, right? They have friends that they vent to about their husbands or spouses, where the husbands and spouses just keep it all in them, to themselves and then just get angry at the end of the day or something, so I'm not a psychologist or, medically backed or anything like that. But I really do feel that having a good core group of friends and having trust within that group of friends and being able to talk about problems that you're having mentally or physically or, able to joke about it, is really a big leg up or a big step into being able to clear your head and live your life.
Yep. I agree. Mental health is important. Make sure you guys are all checking in every day with that. So, I think that about does it.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Sweet. We'll call it here. We're at 43 total. So 40 voicemails, 3 text messages to get through. Right. We'll see if we end up over 50 to 55 next week.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys Monday. Love you. Proud of you, as Nick would say. And I think that's it, man.
No gonorrhea?
No, I'm not gonorrhea today. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
The number you have called has been disconnected.